Nurses inspire in so many ways. They inspire patients with their compassionate care and education. They inspire other nurses with their dissemination of best practices. And they inspire me every day with their tireless and selfless commitment to giving the best care to our community.
I have to admit, I am very happy to be recognized as an outstanding nurse. It is something I would do even if I wasn't recognized, because it is my passion to continue to do nursing and to be able to help people. But like I said, I love what I do.
There's a lot of things that inspire me to become a nurse, actually. My humble beginning in the Philippines actually is the one that made me pursue nursing. I live in the Philippines. I live in a very rural area. We don't have electricity then. We even studied under the kerosene lamp. So that's one thing that inspires me. I'm inspired to help people, I'm inspired to help my family, and I'm inspired to see the world.
I don't even know what to say, because my journey has been long, I started from nursing as a volunteer, and I never knew I could get to this position where I am in right now. My husband, I feel more like it's a celebration for him, because he's the one that has seen me through everything, the support, the financial support, the emotional support, the times I want to quit, to think that I could go from a nursing aide, because I went through all the metamorphoses of nursing. I went from a nursing aide to a licensed practical nurse to a registered nurse, got my bachelor's, and now I'm getting my PhD. And my husband wants 1,000 copies of the Houston Chronicles.
I love telling people that, and it's a big focus for us. We talk about how we attach to our patients, and that's really important. It's not like you take care of them and you send them home and you forget about them. If you're truly compassionate about what you do, you're gonna think maybe a week later, I wonder how that patient is doing. It's really a ministry.
Compassion. That's a big issue for me. So compassion, when I started, was in the nursing school. So it took a kind of, a person to be a nurse. And when I worked in MD Anderson, one of my patients asked me, how can you continue to care of a cancer patient day after day, year after year? It must be hard. I answered, yes, it's hard, but I can't imagine not having been an oncology nurse.
Originally, I have a degree from A&M in animal science, and I wanted to do kind of a last-minute change, and I was getting into animal-assisted therapy. And the only way to get into that field and really make any, kind of a career out of it or money at it was to have some kind of medical background. So my senior year at A&M, I decided I would go into nursing school to get some medical background and then pursue my animal-assisted therapy.
What would I do? What advice I would give is for them to listen, for them to be advocates for their patients, for them to have teamwork, them to ask questions. Because if you don't ask questions, you can literally end up where you do not want to be a nurse. And them to be courageous and be a part of the team.
I chose to be an oncology nurse because I am inspired by the way the families get together to fight cancer. The optimism and strength that each patient exudes despite the nature of the illness. I myself have lost a family member through cancer. And each day I go to work, it reminds me the fond memories we share while fighting with cancer.
Well, what really inspired me to go into nursing at first was their nurses' white uniform, because they look so respectable and neat. But not knowing that behind that white uniform carries big responsibilities and accountabilities. To be recognized as an outstanding nurse means that I have shown to my patients a quality service from the heart, not just to my patients, but to my colleagues too.
Other qualities, empathy. I think that's really important for you to be able to connect with that patient that's in front of you so that you can help with their pain, suffering, or that they're scared, and be able to connect with them. Communication is really important, not the talking so much as it is the listening, and being able to listen to your patients to get a good understanding of what exactly is going on with them. Always remember that that patient that is in front of you means the world to someone. They're a patient to you, but they're the most important person to someone, and to always keep that in mind as you're caring for them.
My father developed a very serious illness when I was 4 that lasted until I was 15. And like most little girls of that era, I wanted to be a nurse so I could take care of my daddy. But as I got older, I was going into a different field, and as a freshman in college, I took a part-time job at an excellent nursing home. And everyone there was very hardworking, very dedicated, really cared about the patients. Everyone from the diet aide to the director of nursing. And it just kind of refueled my love of nursing, and I could see how much difference you could really make in people's lives.
Growing up, I did not dream to be a nurse, but once I went into the field of nursing, I knew that was my calling, because I'm a person who loves to care, even for family members and to patients and their families. When God created each one, He gave us all a spiritual gift, and I considered this as one of my spiritual gifts, to care for individuals, and I love doing it. And once I started it, I wanted to continue it, and I started growing in that field.
So what inspired me to go into nursing is I'm from a family of caregivers. My great-grandmother Etta, my grandmother Myrtle, my mother Helen were all caregivers. They were not licensed as nurses, but they certainly were caregivers. And I decided in high school that I was going to follow in their footsteps.
I did not know what I wanted to be when I grew up. So I had a deep heart-to-heart with my dad one day as I was starting my undergrad and not really knowing where I wanted to go. And he threw out, do you want to be a teacher or a vet? How about a nurse? You know, you love caring for people, you love fixing things, and the blood and guts in your favorite show is ER back in the day. And I was like, nursing. Never thought about it. So I started looking into it, and I was like, man, this is a huge field. And I just kind of took a leap of faith, and I'm glad I did.
So it's a great honor to be recognized among my peers and by the physicians that I work with. It makes me realize that I have made it to where I really wanted to go along this dream. My advice to nursing students today would be, when the going gets tough, to push through, keep going, because in the end, the final results will be exactly what you dreamed of in the beginning.
Being a nurse is a blessing.
Driven.
It's a lifetime of dedication.
Caring and compassion.
I think it's research.
Passion.
It's a calling.
Rewarding.
Integrity, compassion.
A nurse is an angel in the sick room.
Being a nurse is challenging.
On duty, always.
It's rewarding, and it's been a blessing.
It comes from the heart.
Nursing is a calling, but if you look at the word nurse, I always think of some things. I would always say a nurse should be somebody who should nurture, who should be understanding, who should be responsible, make a patient safe, and give exceptional care.